Well, welcome everybody. We're about to get underway here. It's a grey day with a few showers forecast and a few showers this morning as well to make the green a little bit wet, but it's actually running very well by the looks of it. They're just completing their second trial end, so the match will start very soon, and I'll tell you more about the players involved. My name's Stephen Maas. I'm going to be commentating this afternoon, and hopefully we're going to see some great bowls. Very great interest in this match, in the men's match. We've got men's and women's, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but the men's match here, it's the father and son duo, Steve Rawlings and Mick Rawlings, and everyone's anticipating a great game. I mean, it's the old experienced horse versus the young colt, and let's see how we go. Anything can happen here, and probably will. On the rink right beside us, we also have the women's singles final with Billy Maas versus Sarah Cormio, and another highly anticipated match, Sarah being the current holder of women's club champions title, and Billy having won it 4 times before and been runner-up twice. So once again, the old experienced workhorse versus the young colt. Sarah won last year and we'll be hoping to back that up this year. So let's just watch carefully. The sun's trying to make its way through the clouds, which is great, and hopefully we'll see some really good action. We're coming to you live here from Club Belrose, Sydney's Northern Beaches region, Metro Northeast Bowls region in Australia, and I'd like to thank the club for putting on such a great venue. The greens here are maintained by John Rowdy Campton, and ably beside him Joey Saragossa, who's been here for many years as well. So beautifully prepared greens as always here at Belrose, and thanks very much to the ground staff and the club staff for making this possible. Okay, we're about to get underway in the men's singles final. And we have a pretty well T to T start here. First bowl coming down now. So the bowls are going to be hard for people to distinguish on the live stream because that bowl coming in was Steve's, and it's a sort of a bluey, speckledy, a grey blue speckle, and Mick's coming in here very similar. They both use XGs as far as I know. It's more of a turquoise blue speckle. So if you can see the difference on your screen, they look perhaps a bit more green. Mick's looks a bit more green. Steve will look a bit more blue. And it hasn't taken Steve long to get his range, find his range. Now Steve has won this event 3 times before, and runner-up once. So as I said before, very experienced. Most of you who are watching this will know the name Steve Rawlings. He's played in Belrose Grade 1, Platinum, Premier League, whatever you like, for many years. He's one of the state's better bowlers, and we'd expect him to do very well here. But Mick, his son, which is really quite amazing, he's come on beautifully over the last few years. Is really showing some incredibly good bowling talent. Could be in the genes, and there'll be a lot of nervous tension, I'm sure, between those two. But they're a great father and son combination. They played in the pairs earlier this year, the region pairs, and were runners up to another Belrose team skipped by Matty Blackburn. So you'd expect a great competition here. With the women's match on the rink beside us, Billy Marsh has won that singles title 4 times before and been runner-up twice, so she's no stranger to this level of bowls. And Sarah, as I mentioned before, is the young colt who's just really starting to hit her straps. She's won it last year and she's hoping to win it this year. Looks like 3 to Steve at this point. Now this game is played first player to reach 25 shots. So number of ends is not limited. They can play as many ends as they like, but they have to, the first person to reach 25 will be declared the winner. We also have club social bowl zone this afternoon, so there'll be others on the same green. We have one green out for maintenance, limiting the space available, but there's a fair bit of excitement about this final. Lovely bowl there from Steve. I think Mick was holding the shot before that. Good bowl coming in here from Mick. Brilliant bowl, excellent bowl. Steve's currently 1 down, on asking the marker to confirm that. Yeah, well, Mick's found the range there too, but I think he's only holding the one. The marker on this rink is Kevin Keller, one of our club members, and an umpire to boot. So we've got experienced marking. Had that confirmed. So it's 3-1 to Steve. A great start there from Mick. It's great reply from Steve. Probably still one to Mick, but it's got to be close, very close. Another great bowl here from Mick. He's going to put some pressure on the old man, or on his old man. Marcus confirming that Mick's holding shot. And the women are just finishing their second trial end, so they'll be starting their match very shortly too. Well, Mick's still holding here. Steve coming in with his third shot, or he's about to deliver his third. There's a bit of a southeasterly breeze blowing in here, which probably affected that bowl a fraction. It's not a strong wind, but it's certainly more than just a light breeze. And in fact, it's swinging around to the northeast, so it's a northeast-southeast type breeze, and it's going to have an impact on the this game. Well, Mick's giving that plenty of air. I don't think it'll come back in from there. Steve's a very, very experienced skip, very, very experienced bowler in all aspects, and he's a very deliberate and thoughtful bowler. So he'll take his time as he needs to. He'll analyse the head, and he'll decide what he needs to do, as everyone probably does, but he's using a lot of his experience, and he's a very deliberate bowler. Probably will remain 1 to Mick, I think. Just the one. Yeah, one more there to Mick. Much shorter end here. The jack's short of the blue line, and Matt's right back, so we've got quite a short end. Great start there from Steve. That'll be second shot. Good correction there from Mick. Cut one of them out. Two beautiful bowls there from Steve. There's Mick on the mat. Great attempt, great effort. Great effort. Steve's got a really good line here. Does he have the weight? Probably not. Probably still just 2. Yep, 2 it is. To Steve, Rawlo. 5-2 to Steve. Well, Steve's put it back to a fairly longish end. It's certainly not tee to tee, but the jack's about 1.5 meters in, maybe 2 meters in from the tee at this end. Matt's probably the same at the other end, so longish, I would call it. Which is a bit surprising. He won the last end on a short end, so he's obviously got a strategy in mind here. And Mick's found his weight beautifully with his first bowl here. That'll be jack high, that bowl. Yeah, great bowl here from Steve. That'll be the shot. Great correction. Good effort, but and a good home, but it didn't change the head significantly. One shot still to Steve. Well, there's bowls for you. Would have been a huge change if he managed to sit on Steve's bowl. Just snuck through that gap, and the gap would only be 6 inches wide, 8 inches wide. I think Steve might have thrown it out a bit wide here, but I don't know if it'll come all the way back, but he only has to get within 18 inches. Just the one still, didn't quite come back. It's a better line for Mick. I think he might have a little bit too much weight on that. Well, 1 and a measure there to Steve, but certainly the one. One there to Steve, 6-2 is the score. Once again, Steve's gone pretty well tee to tee here. Matt's only just in from the tee at this end, and the jack's probably a metre in at the other end. But may have overcooked that a fraction. Good home though. Great bowl there from Mick. Great bowl. Here's Steve on the mat with his stick to reduce the weight on his ankle. Great bowl there. It's just squeezed on the outside of Mick's. I think Steve's a little bit on the heavy side again. And the bowl did stay up. Mick's holding one. And that was always going to be a little bit on the narrow side. So the two bowlers are going to have a close look at this head. I'll try and get Mick off there. All good. I think he got the message. It's very frustrating, I know, to watch a bowls game while someone's standing right in front of the camera. Very close, very good effort. Well, Mick's about to deliver his fourth bowl here, and he'll be hoping, of course, to add a shot. Holding one. He's given it a very good chance here. Oh yes, a very, very good bowl. Two bowls there to Mick Rawlings, two shots. This is turning out to be a great contest between father and son. I'd love to be a fly on the wall tonight at dinner. Great start there by Mick. Steve's just about a couple of feet short, but Mick's holding shot yet again. Good, good bowl behind there for Mick. Close second for Steve. Mick still holding the shot. That was a good effort from Steve. I think Mick will do this. Steve will do the same again. A little bit narrow maybe, but it's holding up. No, going to just go under. Just under. Very close shots. One more to Mick. 6-5 to Steve. Another long end here we've got here. Great start there by Steve. This is a full length end and he's just put that in within 12 inches or foot and a half of the jack. Mick's coming through here with a pretty good line again. It's just a fraction overweight, but better than his first bowl. Now the women's games getting underway. Obviously has been played for a while, and looks like Sarah has got out to a flying start over Billy, 6-1. So good start from Sarah. Early days yet, and there are no limits, of course, as I said before, to the number of ends they play. It's the first player to 25 shots that will win the match. So they're very good mates, Billy and Sarah, and in fact they're playing together very shortly in the club pairs final. Billy skipping, Sarah leading in the club pairs final. So it's going to be it's a good partnership. There's a lot of friendship in that teaming, but when it comes to bowls, like with father and son, you always want to win. Everyone wants to win. You don't worry about personal relationships. You worry about those after the game. It's hard to say from where I'm standing. That could be two to Steve. Certainly one. Mick's got a good bowl coming in here. That's overweight again. Yeah, well, the marker says it's two to Steve, so he's got one last bowl to go. Lovely bowl there. That will be three to Steve. Now Steve's going back to the shorter end. He's going to mix this up a bit. Oh no. They didn't carry a mat. They're not carrying the mat, so he's coming down to get the mat. The marker just told me that was four to Steve, so a big take. So that makes it 10-5 to Steve. That was a big take. So he's gone long again, even longer. This is the full ditch to ditch. Good start there. Mick's got a beauty coming in here. Well, he's laying out the challenge, and Steve certainly has to meet it. I'm sure he's able to do it. I'm sure he's planning on doing it, but right now Mick's certainly keeping some pressure up. Great correction there from Steve. He's now got the weight perfectly. But he's left that bowl hanging out over the edge. It can be used by Mick, but this one won't be using it. It's going under. Great bowl there from Steve Rawlings. Didn't quite get the shot, but it was certainly a beautiful bowl. Steve here doing the number crunching, trying to figure out what shot to play. And the trouble is that Mick's bowl is a toucher, so if Steve was to try and hit that and the toucher went into the ditch and with the jack, then there's no value in that. He's got to try and draw in off his own bowl or hit the edge of Mick's bowl and knock him out. Forehand shot coming in here, or about to be coming in here, with a bit of weight, so he's going to try and come in. As luck would have it, he found the gap. So Mick's still holding the one shot, but he's got one bowl left. Backhand shot underway. He's got good grass here. It's all about the weight. And the weight looks pretty good. Beautiful bowling. Two shots there to Mick. Some great bowls played that end by both father and son. So we've got a shorter end here. Mick's put the mat right back at the tee, and the jack's a long way up the rink. Good start. That won't be the shot bowl at the end of this end, I'm sure of that. Great bowl from Steve. Yeah, brilliant reply there from Mick. That'll be the shot. Maybe not quite. From where I'm standing, it's hard to actually judge the exact distances. So Mick is holding shot. A little bit short. Well, look at that. What a great bowl from Mick. Great bowl. he'll be happy with that. Putting more pressure on Steve. Steve's certainly feeling some heat this afternoon from his own son. Well, a great bowl, but Mick still got the shot. One there to Mick. So it's 10-8. Mick's got the mat. And on the women... Sorry. Women's game still going Sarah's way at this point. Billy's struggling a bit. Not a great start there from Mick. Steve's got the shot, but it's probably a metre short. Good ball there from Steve, but he didn't stay with it, but he still has the shot. That's what he'll care about. Well, that's a lovely draw shot there from Mick. He's got the shot now, probably 1.5 foot off the jack. Steve's is trying to get back, just won't quite do it. Beautiful grass, just slipped by. One in, one out to Mick. Steve's having a bit of a run here, but he's just a bit narrow for the weight that he was using. One more to Mick. 10-9. This game might go all the way. Great start there from Mick. Got to get Kevin off the line here. Oh, Mick's holding 2 shots there. Really upping the ante here. See what Steve's reply is. It's still a bit heavy. A little squall is just coming up, a bit of a breeze. Could be a shower on the way, which would change the nature of this game. Steve's coming in here. Great correction, but he's probably cut one out. 1 and a measure is the call from the marker. Just going to dive across. Steve's having a good close look at this. It really, it's a draw shot from my perspective, and he's the man to do it. He's got one of the best draws going around. And a light rain shower is just passing through, making it a bit unpleasant for the players. Certainly 1 to Mick. Marker thought there was a measure for second. having a close look at that, and they're going to measure. No indication then. 1. Yep, 1 to Mick. 10 all. Well, that's an exciting place to be. 10 all. At this stage of the game, there's nothing between them, which is great to see. I mean, when you consider the difference in their skill and their experience levels, it's great to see Mick keeping his old man honest. Another fabulous start by Mick. Steve's got a great looking reply here too. In fact, no, I think Mick's still got the shot. I think Mick's still holding there. Steve's just a few inches off behind. Well, that's jack high. That last bowl of Steve's was a beautiful bowl. Just a fraction narrow, but he's got that weight to it beautifully. Mick's got a good reply here too. That could be 2 shots to Mick. It's certainly 1, maybe a measure for second. Steve's asking the question. And the marker says yes, it's 2. So it's 2 to Mick. Very tempting target there for Steve if he can split those 2 bowls. He'll stay for 3, which is exactly what he's trying to do. And he's got a really well pointed bowl here. Didn't go well for him though. Killed the end. So they're going to play from the same end again, play in the same direction, which is what the laws say you should do unless both skips agree otherwise. Slight delay as they set up down there. Now the jack's being rolled. Okay, back on deck, just making sure that all the power banks are going well. So great start there from Steve. Another great bowl coming in here from Steve. And he picked up the jack just enough to probably squeeze in for 2 shots, although he more sliced that jack than picked it up. Certainly 1 to Steve, probably 2. And the rain is certainly coming in. Well, Mick was unfortunate there. He'd definitely pushed that in for 2 now. If it was a measure, it's now definitely 2 to Steve. It's going to be close for 3rd. Once again, could be a measure. Good looking bowl here from Mick, depends on his weight. Just went through, was certainly a good weight. And you never give Steve a chance. That's got to be certainly 2, possibly 3 or 4. I'll get the tape onto this, it's hard to say for sure. Well, they've decided. I'll find out. It was the full count, 4. You never want to give Steve a sniff because he'll take it. So we've got T to T length here again. With a great start there from Steve. It's not easy right now, there's a drizzle coming down. Well, the mat at this end is right behind the tee, and as you can see from the screen, the jack is right now behind the tee up there. So it's full length, drizzle coming down, not easy conditions. At least there isn't much wind at this point, which is good. Mick's got a great reply coming in here. Definitely great bowl there from Mick, holding shot. it's good effort there from Steve. It's possibly in the count. I favour Mick though still. Yeah, the marker confirms 1 to Mick at this point. Well, Mick's giving this a bit of stick. I mean, Steve, sorry. Well, no change there. I'd say that's still 1 shot to Mick, which would make the score 11-14 to Steve. The drizzle's getting quite heavy now, so the players will be very unhappy with the conditions. Social bowlers are still out there, so certainly not unplayable or terribly radical conditions, but they're unpleasant. Well, this is great to watch. We're very interested to see Mick bowling so well. Mick's holding 2 there. Looks a bit narrow from where I'm standing. It's 6-12 on the women's, 6-12 to Sarah on the women's rink. Sarah's putting Billy under a lot of pressure. Beautiful weight there from Steve. Unfortunately, he's just a couple of feet offline. So I'd suggest still 2 to Mick. No, the marker says 1 to Mick. Okay, Mick's only holding 1. So his Mick's back bowl must be further away than I thought. Lovely bowl there from Mick. That'll be second. Well, Steve's trying to toss up here. To me, it'll be a backhand draw shot. But I'm not Steve Rawlings, so I wouldn't dare second guess what he might do here. But yes, he's going to go backhand. With weight. Missed everything. In fact, it wasn't backhand, it was forehand, but not enough. Not enough of something. Anyway, it's still two to Mick by the looks of that. Mick's not sure. Take the two out, yeah. It's the third one that he's not sure about. And I'll have to find out. 2 is the indication from the marker. So back to almost level pegging. Back to another short end, or shortish end. It's not ultra short, but Matt's behind the tee and the Jack's just a couple of metres short of the line. Probably about 23, 24 metres. Great start there from Steve, but maybe gone too far through. It's hard to tell from this angle. Great bowl here from Steve, but Mick's still holding shot according to the marker. I'll have to go and save one of the cameras that's getting wet out there while Steve goes down to look at the head. Yeah, it's getting a bit wet. Steve's having another run at this. Oh, don't know whether that's what he wanted to do. So they're having a close look at this. Certainly one to Mick. He always hurled that shot. But I'll see what the marker says. Two to Mick. There you go. Mick's now got his nose in front. $15-14 to Mick. Yep. 6-13 to Sarah on the women's rink. It might be more than that because Sarah won the last end, so Sarah might be... Oh, they're still playing this end, sorry, forgive me. But Sarah's holding one on this end. Billy has one more bowl to play. Okay, so we've got this shorter length again. Forgive me mucking around here with the camera, which is becoming unstable. I think that's better. And once again, Mick's got the first bowl in there. It's the thing to do in singles, get your first bowl on the jack. He's been taught well by his father, and he's delivering it in spades this afternoon. One more to Sarah on the women's rink next to us here, which will put her 6-14 ahead, I think. Well, that could be two shots to Mick. It's certainly one in a measure, I would say, from where I'm standing. Steve needs to get in there. Needs to get around his front bowl. He's well positioned to do that. Yes, he's drawn shot there. The crowd goes wild. 15 all. We have quite a little band of hardy spectators here, having watching the all afternoon. It's not pleasant conditions for the spectators. Now Steve's put the mat right up, and he's put the jack right to the tee. So short end, but with jack at the tee and the mat right up. Another good start there by Mick. Sorry, by Steve. Mick's going through there. Desperately unlucky there. That was a good bowl from Mick. If he'd come in off Steve's bowl, he would have been there for sure, but just squeezed by. Goodness knows how it squeezed by. Well, that's a beautiful bowl. Beautiful bowl. Mick's just drawn the shot. Still a Mick's shot as far as I can see. Well, looks like two more to Mick. Back in the lead. 17-15 to Mick Rawlings. Pretty steady drizzle around here. So we're back at that sort of 3/4 length that is proving very lucrative for Mick. That'd be a metre or so short. Good reply there from Steve. He's got the shot, but he's still half a metre short and a bit offline, but he certainly got the shot. Great bowl here coming in from Mick. If it goes the distance, which it has, beautifully done. Just behind Jack High. Still Mick, holding shot. Now Steve is trying to sit on Mick's shot bowl here, or promote his own. He promoted his own, and yes, I think he might have just stayed with it. It's very close. I think Steve might be holding shot there, but I'll wait till see what what Mick says. It's very close indeed. I can see that Mick's bowl is barely an inch and a half off the jack, but I thought Steve might be a bit closer than that. No indication from the players, so we'll just wait and see what happens. There are no bowls behind the jack, so if anyone hits it, probably will push it out into the open. Obviously Mick believes he might have shot because he's been down back bowl, and Steve's going narrow with a little bit of weight. It's got to come back. It's got to come back. It's not going to come back. So I was looking at the body language. I'd say that was one to Mick. Marker agrees. 18-15. Another little squall on its way through here. It's not very pleasant conditions. A little bit short there from Mick. Yeah, good start there from Steve. That'll be the shot. It's probably 2 shots to Steve at this point. Now Mick's played a beautiful bowl there. As I said before, well taught by his father. Great bowling. Got the Rawlings genes. Steve won't lie down though. A great response from Steve Rawlings. Good arm wrestle going on here. It's wonderful to watch. It's a lonely old game, singles, and anything can happen. You give a good bowler 4 bowls in a row. It's a very, very hard game to play emotionally. No, it's going to be one to Steve, I'd suggest. But Steve's got one left. The women's game next door. 6-14, but Sarah's holding quite a few shots on this end. So it'll change. Steve's given this a bit of weight, a bit of stick here. Nope. Went straight through. One to Steve. So that's 16-18. Mick Rawlings on 18. Steve Rawlings on 16. If you're wondering what's happened to my third camera, I've taken it inside out of the rain. So we're just looking at cameras from each end that are under gazebos, as you can probably see in the distance. So they're out of the rain, but the third camera, the player delivery camera, was on the green and was getting quite wet, so I've removed it. So apologies for that, but we'll just keep going with these 2 cameras, one at each end of the rink. Once I set this up, because it's going maximum length here. Literally T to T. Steve left his about 1.5 meters short, but Mick's all over it again. Mick's on fire this afternoon. He's out to prove a point. Another beautiful bowl here from Mick coming in. 2 shots there. Well, Steve's got a good ball here. Oh, it's the old story. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Another great bowl here from Mick. Well, I'm not going to predict what Steve's mind's thinking right now. There's certainly a weighted shot that's on. He's got the best back bowl. But it's tee to tee, not an easy drive. But he's a cunning professional here, so he'll know what he wants to do. He's playing weight. It's well pointed. It's got to come back a bit. Well, that's an interesting result. So the upshot of all that is that the toucher that Mick did have is still on the green, and the 2 in the ditch are not touches. So Steve's holding shot right now. Yeah, Mick still has 1 to play. The jack's in the ditch. You can't quite see it from here. It's underneath that orange peg, and the shot that Steve's bowled, you can see to the left of your screen, is the shot bowl right now. So I'll leave this camera down here until we see where Mick comes in. I'll put it back as he delivers the bowl. No, he's thinking very heavily about this. He's now on the mat. The bowl is now underway. I'll follow it in so we can see where it might end up. Way too wide, so that'll be 1 shot to Steve. One to Steve. So it's now 17-18 to Mick. Great game going here. Great start there from Steve, all over the jack. Pretty useful reply here from Mick. It might still be Steve's shot. Steve's won't come back in from there. Sorry about that. Match will begin shortly. Actually, a drop of water that fell off the gazebo right into the middle of my software touchscreen, and that's what happened. Never seen that before. But well, that head hasn't substantially changed. Steve's still holding the shot. It's a long way down. Well, he's coming under here. He's hoping to knock Mick out. Oh no, he may have knocked Mick in. I'll wait till I hear the call, but that would be the worst possible result. It was a beautiful weighted bowl. Yep. He knocked Mick's bowl in. It's very, very fine shot he was trying to play, and it backfired a bit, although he executed extremely well, and as a matter of millimetres we know that, but at the end of the day he gave away his shot. $19.17 to Mick. Good result there for Steve. He's approximately jack high and just a few inches off the jack. Steve's got a great line here and he's got great weight. That'll be second shot. Also jack high. Mick's a little bit heavy there. Good line. We'll see what Steve's going to do here. Well, it's still 2 to Steve. He's got plenty of room here to make it a third. It's all about the weight. He appears to have the weight. Beautiful bowl. 3 shots there. 3 to Steve will make it 20. 19. This has been a fabulous game. Great start there from Steve Rawlings. He's putting pressure on Mike, just like Mike put pressure on him. It's a great feeling when you're playing singles to put your first bowl on the jack. Mick's reply is also excellent, but just leaving it a bit short. Great bowl there from Mick. That's the shot. Just cutting under. think it's Mick's shot, but I'm not too sure. No one's saying very much, and I'm at the other end of the green. Steve's given it some weight here, but I think it's not the right line. Oh dear. Well now, he might have given away another shot. Not sure what's going on here. Mick obviously thinks it's very, very close. He's having a good look at it. Good look at this. They're having a very good look at this. Mick's not sure what he's looking at. He's got one bowl left. Seems pretty clear to me that Mick's certainly holding shot, but obviously something he's trying to decide is causing him some uncertainty. We'll find out very soon. He's about to deliver his last bowl. Last bowl. So Steve's about to measure for second, I think. Two, maybe. I'll wait till the marker indicates. 2, 1, 2. Yep, 2's the marker's indication, so that's 2 to Mick, which is 21 to Mick and 20 to Steve. Alright, we've just kicked over the 2-hour mark for this game. And it's been a great game, everything we hoped it would be. Beautiful grass there by Mick, but metre and a bit long. Left the door open for Steve. And Steve said thank you very much. So good start there for Steve. Great correction by Mick. It's got to be close to shot. Marcus having a close look. He can't determine it. It's got to be a forehand draw shot here, sitting on Mick's bowl maybe. It's going to just cut across. In fact, didn't reach, so nothing changed there. Well, Steve's given us a little bit more grass and a little bit more weight. It could be the shot he's after. Oh, unfortunately, it needed another few inches of weight. He might have pushed Mick in for shot, if it was a measure, which Marcus says it was. One shot to Mick. 22 to 20. Yeah, we're back to sort of 3/4 length again. The mat's right on the tee, behind the tee. Well, Steve sliced that jack, and Steve's holding shot now. We can't see a thing here because the marker's in the way. And I'm really not sure who's holding here at this point. I guess it'd have to be... Well, I can't really tell. I'm just wandering up the other end of the rink to change the battery, so I'll update you on what's going on once I get to the other end. But it looks like Steve Rawlings won that last end. He's just rolled the jack. Everything's falling. Thanks. Okay, we've got the battery running again. And we're underway. So the women's game is over and won by Sarah. I can't give the exact score at this point. I don't have the... they haven't updated the scoreboard. Okay, now I can adjust the camera down the far end. There we are, the jack's been moved off the line and it looks like Mick's holding shot. 21-22, so Steve won the last end and got a shot for it. Great bowl here from Steve Rawlings. He's got the shot with that, drawn the shot. So one more to Steve Rawlings, by the looks of that. 22 all. It's been a great game. Doesn't get much better than this. Both within 3 shots of taking out the title. Steve's roll this tee to tee again. And Mick's gone inside for a comfort stop, as they call them. Comfort stop. Steve coming in, a little bit of heaviness there. As I said, the women's game is over. Sarah Cormio defeated Billy Mars, so Sarah is the women's club singles champion. Congratulations to her. She really dominated from the start. So on that rink, at least, the inexperienced player won the game. We'll find out yet on this rink who wins this game, but it's very, very tight. Okay, back on deck here. Mick has delivered his first bowl. Great bowl there from Steve. Great correction from his first. Great bowl. Well, Mick's got a well-pointed bowl coming in here. He's got to hold up. Great reply, just almost there. Great. One is the call and favouring Steve for 2. Mick's got a great bowl coming in here. Oh, brilliant bowl. Showing a lot of maturity here. Steve's put a little bit of weight on this, and it's got to come back. It's trying. It's trying. Oh, great effort. So Mick's gone down to have a look. Mick's coming in a little bit narrow, but he's got some weight. No, he hasn't. He's got lack of weight. One shot there to Mick. 23 to Mick, 22 to Steve. .25 is the target, so they're both within sight of their target. Yeah, another great start there from Mick. He's been doing very, very well. As I said at the start, Steve's won this event 3 times before. First time I think was in 2013 was the first time he won it. Beautiful reply from Steve, but may have just gone through. Great looking bowl here from Steve. If he's got the legs, he's certainly all over it. Beautiful bowl. Resting toucher. Resting toucher. Beautiful bowl. Well, Mick's got 2 seconds. Another great bowl here from Steve. Well, yes and no. Depends how aggressive Mick wants to be. But there's not a lot down the back. If Mick was to come in there with weight, Steve's got the furthest back bowl, but Mick is 2 down. And Steve has one more to play, which would, if he got it in there, would be matched to Steve. So Mick doesn't want to do anything too radical here. He must just make sure he doesn't go down by more than 1 or 2. Well, he's having a run. He's well pointed. Great result, great result. That'll be at least 1, if not 2 to Mick, which is a great result. 2 to Mick's, of course, the match. It could be 2 to Mick. If it is 2 to Mick and Steve doesn't change it, then Mick wins. If Steve can move that jack about a foot to our left, to your left, the viewer's left, then he's holding 3 and he's got match. So look, it's pretty finely poised. Oh, well, means we'll have at least 1 more end. One there. Onto Mick. Onto Mick. All right. 24, 22. Well, great start there from Steve. Great reply. It's a real arm wrestle here. It's very close right now. Mark is having a good look at it. Marker said it was a very close measure. He favours Steve's bowl. Mick just needs the one shot here to close out this game. What's Steve going to do about it? They're very uncertain as to who's holding shot. Steve needs to know, although the equation really is simple. He just needs to try and draw the shot. A lot of deliberation going on. We'll wait and see when it comes down to it. Steve's certainly got something here. Oh, bad luck that was. So we'll find out very soon. They'll probably do a measure. Yep, they're getting down to measure. This is measuring for match. If it's Mick, match is over. If it's Steve, another end. Looks like it's Steve's. We're back for another end. (23-24). Another squall coming through too, just to add to our excitement. Bit of rain, bit of wind. It's getting close, very tense. And Steve's obviously going for a minimum length here. He's put the mat right at the 21 metre mark, and he's going to back himself to roll the jack short of the ditch. Oh, I don't think he's going to do... Oh, we were all riding that jack. It just toppled in. So Mick gets to roll the jack. Well, it was a try. It was a worthwhile try, and he was literally a centimetre off rolling that jack and keeping it on the ditch, on the green. But Now instead of the ultra short end, we're going for not quite maximum, but pretty long. Matt's on the tee, Jack's about 3 metres in. For what could be the last end. Either of the guys can win from here. Steve's put a nice start in there. Well, that was just a magic shot at a magic time. Stevie's now holding match. I don't think it'll stay that way. There's a few more balls to come down, but it's a psychological thing. Mick's just leaving that short. And that's also a brilliant bowl. Good position. Covering the back. Well, we haven't seen the end of this game yet. Steve's coming down to have a look. Steve's put his last bowl down. We'll see where it ends up, but at the end of the day, he's already holding match. So it's up to Mick to convert this head or cut the shot count back. If the jack goes back now, Steve's also got 2 back bowls. It's not insurmountable. It's a backhand draw sitting on Steve's shot bowl. Whichever way Mick feels more comfortable, he can get in there, cut it back to 1, or draw the shot. He doesn't want to move the jack back. Here it is. Could be the last bowl of this match. Well, he's gone narrow. Depends on his weight here. No, he's not going to do it. He's not up. There it is. 2 shots to Steve Rawlings. Gives him the match. Well, it's been a fantastic afternoon's bowls. Weather-wise, it's been shocking, but we've all stuck through it. Mick hasn't declared the match yet, but he's on his way down, and they'll probably shake hands. Yes, they are. Congratulations to them both. It was a great match. Steve Rawlings, that's his 4th win at this club of the major singles, and he and Sarah Cormier will be off to the Champion of Champions singles next year, June in Dubbo, I think it'll be. Um, I'll sign off now. Stephen Mars here saying good night. Hope you enjoyed the game and hope you enjoyed the coverage. And thank you very much to Club Belrose for providing wonderful facilities as always.